Now then, people, good afternoon and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Happy Valentine's to you all. Hopefully you can hear me now. I've just got back off a lovely walk at Malham Cove. Those who are in and around Yorkshire will know all about Malham Cove. So I've just been atop there, had some food, had a scone, jam and cream, nice brew, went to a farm shop, had a BLT, made my way back here, and now we're here to talk about the press conference. But yeah, happy Valentine's to all you folks out there. Liam Moore says, happy Valentine's Day, Mr. Loverman, Shabba. Mr. Loverman, Shabba. Hope you're all doing well, though. Yeah, afternoon, John. Everyone says Oliver. Afternoon to you. Sly 2.0. Thomas Shirtland. Andrew Michael. Adam. Dylan Howdled. Justin Thomas. Demola. Donna. Donna, you need to hook us up with your Airbnb. You need to hook me up with the Airbnb. Malham Cove. Lovely. It was, mate. I can't lie to you. It was a lovely walk. And it's a lovely place. It's very picturesque. It's quite a pleasant walk. It's not too tasking, you know what I mean? Out there in my charity shop red, which I know a lot of you hate me for, but it is what it is. Afternoon, Dawn. Dawn was over in Ireland, I believe, the other day, meeting our good friend, Mr. Joe Lynch. Stephen Underwood, big up to you all. Right, listen, smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. Massive game on Monday night. I would argue the biggest game of the season so far, and one that Leeds United need to win, because I do believe that Luton will win at the weekend. Sunderland, no. I do believe Sheffield United will beat Luton at the weekend, which means they will be top. And if they are top, then we are second. And we cannot be second. So we must win on Monday night. And I think we will win, right? Two players who won't be available for that game. No shots, no shit Sherlock vibes. I reckon if I said, please guess, you would get the answer. Yeah. So, Max Wilber. Max Wilber will be out. Surgery on him, though, was good. Had it yesterday. He's getting himself ready for summer so he can leave. That went to plan. Doctors are happy with the outcome. We expect him to be back after the international break in March. Might as well not bother at that stage. We'd have already won league by then. Bamford, sadly, last days were not ideal. He will need another 10 days of individual training. The fact that we didn't go out and get some additions is crazy, you know. Like, I know we've won games, we've scored a lot of goals, told you so we didn't need players, but anyone could break down at any point. And if Pirro got an injury, you're relying on Joseph, and then no one else to come in after him. He'll need another 10 days of individual training. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, he will be back. He needs to be there with the full ability to sprint. We expect him to join team training after the Sheffield United game, which is 2 weeks on Monday. So, yeah, frustrating one with that. And, like I've seen us linked to Callum Wilson, it's bullshit. Like, why would listen? I really like Callum Wilson. If you could keep him in fit, the facts are you can't. Don't go after Callum Wilson, please. It's pointless. We're just swapping an injured striker in Bamford for an injured striker in Wilson. We need someone young. We need someone in the prime. Someone like Pirro. He's in his prime, isn't he? Really? No. You get that later in life, I guess, as striker, but someone in that, not too young, in that middle ground, Someone we can rely on for 38 games. And it will be 38 because we are getting promoted. So, obviously Sunderland on Monday, and no doubt, as will conversations will be within their fan base. Some of the press conference was around Ilian Meslier, because we know Ilian Meslier made that absolute howler at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland still haven't lost a game at home. It's frustrating because we should have been the only team to have beat them thus far at Stadium of Light, but Meslier had an absolute clanger. But since then, he's been in some great form. Let's be honest, we had the whole City issue, but he's been in some great form in the most recent weeks. Like Thomas says, he's literally on a redemption arc at the minute. But Daniel Farke said he is a self-critical young man. The only answer is, after a shaky period, to work even harder in training, and that's what he's done. He's been pretty focused and concentrated. I don't know about you folks, but when I watch him play, I feel that he is more focused. I feel that he is more concentrated. I feel that the management of Farke has worked a treat, because he does look a different player. He's had many clean sheets during this season. It's pretty impressive. I'm happy with this, but it's what I expect from him. I think at times, with all due respect, without blowing too much smoke up his arse, if we have a little bit of realism, I could play in goal for some of the games and keep clean sheets. As wild as it is. Obviously, if they shot, yeah, maybe it's Scott. But I'm just saying, like, some games, the XG has been that low that if you'd have put me in goal, it wouldn't. So I don't want to gas him up too much. But I do believe we have seen a massive improvement over the last few weeks. Farke came back to the fact he was named in the last season's championship team of the season. We want to keep going, and he wants to keep going. If you want to be successful in this league, you need a top number one. I think we show that you don't. Like, for Farke to say, if you want to be successful in this league, you need a top number one. We're showing that you actually don't. You need to have a top defence and an awesome defensive structure. But he's not a top number one, which is painful because he has improved, but he's not, is he? He's not James Trafford. He's not Cooper at Sheffield United. He's not some of the other keepers in the league. So I don't know if I agree with Farke's comment that you need a top keeper to be good in this league, because he is not that. But of recent weeks, he's pulled us out of the fire, hasn't he? Let's be honest. So fair play to us. And a lot of praise was put on the goalkeeping coach, Ed Wootton. I know previously we used to have Marcus Abad, didn't we? And I think, did he go to Derby? Where did Marcus Abad go? Chef Wednesday, maybe. Yeah. But Farke said, compliments to Ed. We've worked together quite a long time. He's a great character. He's good for the group, not just for the goalkeepers. He interacts with with all the players, but especially how he handles this situation with the group of goalkeepers that we've got. So he's pretty focused and competitive. Have a good spirit in the group. And this is all down to Ed. Even when there is criticism or a challenging time, with his empathy and man management skills, he's pretty helpful. He's open and critical and honest, but they feel supported and trusted by him. I think it's important to have a good group of goalkeepers, isn't it? Like, I don't work in football, but you need to have a good group to support the number one. I always think of, like, when you've got like two number ones, it don't really work, does it? Oh, a bad went to West Brom. Don't really work if you look at like what happened at Arsenal, and they had Ramsdale and Raya, and every time Raya made a save, they'd go all over to Ramsdale in the crowd, and it just creates an issue. You do need to have a standout number one, but obviously you need to have a good group. I think Alex Cairns is a good part of that group too, you know. It'd be interesting to see what happens in the Premier League, because I would like us to improve on the goalkeeper. I don't think we will, though. Which I think might be the wrong decision, but hey ho. As three goalkeepers in the Prem, it's not great. I don't even think it's great comparative to our competition. So if we went to the Premier League and kept that same three goalkeepers of Meslier, Darlow, and Cairns, it's not great. It's not enough competition for Mez either. But fair play to Ed Wootton, fair play to Meslier, and fair play to Farke dealing with that situation, and Mellier's form after that point, because a lot of players could have easily gone under and felt so much pressure when returning back in goal. And he's actually improved and thrived on it a little bit, to be fair to him. So you have to give props where props are due. It was then asked about Tanaka. There's been a lot of love for Tanaka over the past week or so. We're seeing a lot of sort of teams outside of the Championship, teams in the Premier League, etc., showing a lot of praise now for Tanaka. And the fact that all these Tactico accounts, because that's what they are, Tactico accounts, are getting wise to Tanaka and sharing love and saying things like, does anyone know who this player is? And he's not in the Premier League. And, I've seen some stats. I'm going to have to try find it for you. Just 1 second. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Here it is. So this is from the Prem debrief. Let's have a look. Let me just share the screen. But you can see here, like you're getting Tactico accounts using. Look, can absolutely anyone guess who this player is? And this is all Tanaka's numbers. Like, look at all the green on FB Ref. You're getting these sort of Tactico accounts now. Just showing how impressive he is. And if they're doing it, then best believe a lot of Premier League clubs will be wary of him. I am genuinely amazed that he hasn't been picked up before now. Our man Lockie knew about him, didn't he? More so than most, to be fair to him. So big up to Lockie for that. But yeah, so the reason I'm just talking about that is because a lot of Japanese press have been at the games now, naturally because of Tanaka. And Farke just spoke on Tanaka, the player, and said, look, overall, it's important. He's playing a central role for us. Doesn't matter if you're 18 or 34, lots of experience or not much. If your English is perfect and fluent, or sometimes need to use Japanese words, you have to lead and make sure everyone is on the same page, because they spoke about him sort of directing where he wanted Gruev to go at times. I remember his debut game when he just dropped in at centre-back and told Ampadu to get out of there. He's very confident, and Farke's just saying it don't matter if your English is perfect, your age or whatever, if you've got it, you've got it. And he does lead by example on the pitch with good performances, and he obviously gives a few hints and tips to his counterparts in there, be it Rothwell, be it Gruev, be it Ampadu. The central roles are always in the heart of our games, to be there with commands. He's not the biggest leader in terms of speaking and words, but he plays a crucial role, and this is what he has to deliver. And we've seen that. I mean, the fourth goal for Leeds United, as Farke put it, it's poetry in motion. Just while I remember as well, just while I'm on my bookmark tweets, because I save stuff and so I jog my memory to speak about it. Obviously, the Athletic run a piece the other day, didn't they? That Rasmus Christensen might be moving permanently to Eintracht Frankfurt, and they want to bring that deal through as quick as possible. So let them have him. And Tekin, for me, is absolutely pony. But this was by far the greatest thing that someone tagged me in, which is an absolute beauty. If you look at the expected goals since January the 1st, so since the turn of the year, you can see which teams are expected to score the most goals. Big cluster here. Sunderland out there, not creating much, but also not conceding much down this bottom end here. As you can see, you've got surely Burnley are there. Yeah, look, there you go. Burnley, not creating much, but also not conceding much. Preston, the same. Middlesbrough, a bit shot shy. Here, seriously bad teams. So, conceding a lot and creating next to nothing. Out here, football intended chaos, bit of both. But look at Leeds United. Look where Leeds United are. It's absolutely insane. If you look at their expected goals since January the 1st, that's insane. We are far and away out on our own the best team. It's mental, isn't it? When you see it in that graphic form, like this is where the main cluster are. Get a few standouts in it, like how poor Watford are and Wild. But look at Leeds up here. It's absolutely insane what we're doing. Arguably, if we continue on the trajectory we're on, we could break the points record. It's highly unlikely, but hey-ho, it is what it is. So, yeah, that's just some things I wanted to share. But he spoke on Tanaka, and rightly so. Then we got on to Sunderland. He said they are a brave side. They've scored many goals, can score more or less from many positions, because the question was posed to him about how many goals their defenders have, the likes of Luke O'Nien. Trey Hume's got some, Sirkin's involved in a lot. So Farke was just saying, yeah, they're scoring a lot of positions. What I will say for them, great going forward, but defensively they can be poor, Sunderland. But he said it's important that many players chip in with goals. You can open an opponent up with a goal from a defender or a set piece. We know Sunderland has the skills, but it's also important to control their attacking players, the counter attacks. to be switched on to avoid assists from defensive roles. I spoke earlier about complex tasks for us. We have to be very good in many different areas. We hope we bring our strength on the pitch. Can't wait for that game Monday night. It's what you're in it for. I'll be back in my my humble abode as well, so there'll be no issues with missing goals and stuff. So, yeah, I can't wait for that game on Monday night. It's going to be a barnstormer, a humdinger, if you will. But yeah, I can't wait. He was then asked by Graham Smith about Leeds United, the change of philosophy, it would seem, in the second half, where we're really putting our foot to the floor. Farke's letting the shackles off when we're going for games now, as opposed to, previously maybe, just keeping it at 2-0 and just leaving it like that. He does tend to go for the kill now. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will sort itself out in a second, folks. It looks to be going on a bit of a madder. But yeah, I think we're sorting ourselves out now. So yeah, he was asked specifically about that switch. Oh God, my back's killing in this chair, folks. I'm just going to move my camera a second. So I'm down here. Right, okay. I don't know what's up with my Wi-Fi. Just give us a sec, folks. I have to turn it off and on again or something. It's doing a bit of a mad one. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Hopefully that'll sort itself out. Yeah, it sorted itself out. Yeah, it is, mate. It is. But the thing is, we can enjoy Saturday, can't we? So on Saturday, I'll be doing Preston v Burnley at lunchtime, and then we'll follow that by the 3 o'clock Luton versus Blades. So you can join me for them 2 watch-alongs tomorrow. Sunday, I'll have a preview out, and then Monday night, obviously, Leeds play Sunderland at Ellen Road, which I can't wait for. So on that change of philosophy from the manager, he says the problem is you don't know. You start the attack, the outcome is to score a goal. It's more a bit like the decision making. When there is a good situation to go for a counter attack or speed up the game, then there is not the perfect moment, and this is the time to prepare. 1 second, a bit hard to decipher that. I guess he's saying, look, when we set out, we don't know if we're going to score a goal in that moment. I think that's what he's getting at there. We have to make decisions on the pitch that will enable us to either create or defend better. I'm not too sure. I think with Farke, it is probably risk averse and assessing all situations first. Whereas, say, someone like Bielsa, who we had the luxury of, it's every time we go forward, we're looking to create a goal scoring chance, aren't we? That's the facts. And then he says, then there is not the perfect moment. This time is the time to prepare. You can label it instinct or coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidence in football. We work on the training pitch. We start our attacks when we have the perfect structure, especially in terms of counter-attacks. It's important where you win the ball and how the structure of the opponent is to realise this is this in 1 or 2 seconds. It's the quality of the players to realise this. The more often you bring him to this situation, the easier it is for him under pressure to make the correct decision, which you could argue over the last few weeks we've been doing that. There's been a lot of situations where a lot of our goals have been similar, especially when we go from the right winger to the left winger or the left winger to the right winger. James, Solomon. They're literally assisting each other at this moment. And that's when, obviously, as the seasons progress, we have looked more dangerous. We've created more chances. But if you look at the chances, folks, they're very similar. They are very similar. Bogle in from the right, combination down there, Fopo on the overlap, winger to winger. A lot of it is the same. And I also think as well, like Brendan's improved when he talks about that thing of like, the more often you bring a player to the situation, the easier it is for him to make the right decision in their moments under pressure. If at first you don't succeed, you try again, right? I think it's that kind of vibe. He says if we overdo it and hold the pace too high, we offer some mistakes, sometimes necessary to calm it down a bit and recharge in possession, which again, I don't mind for. Because, I loved Bielsa ball, but at times, obviously, we were too gung-ho. With Farke, we have a bit of both, I think. And he says this is something which comes with a bit more experience and you develop this leadership. You can educate this and work on it on the training pitch, in meetings, when you show scenes in videos. He was talking specifically on Ampadu as well and his role in the game. And he says he knows exactly what I want on the pitch. So he's sort of like my eyes and ears on the pitch, because I know a lot of people were frustrated by Ampadu at times throughout the season, slowing it down, etc. But yeah, I think that's something that the manager probably asks. And Ampadu will make a forward pass if the option's on. If not, then he will just, recycle. But he was then asked, further on Ampadu, because obviously he's playing at centre-back and saying, look, are you excited to get him back into centre midfield when Strauch's, surely getting closer to full fitness? And he said, look, very pleased in both aspects because on several occasions I've labelled Ampadu as the key player, our most important player. He's our captain. We missed him for such a long time. We have to be careful when to give him a few minutes of break when the game is won. Tries to bring him off if he can. I will try to do this because he was out with a serious injury for such a long time. He's so important. That's why I don't understand the logic of some fans who don't think he's ready from the Prem when you've got your manager saying he's our most important player. So in what world would we go to the Premier then go, oh, that player that was the most important in the Championship now is not good enough? Well, if he isn't good enough and you consider him to be the most important, then what the fuck does it say for the rest of the squad? Do you know what I mean? So that's why I don't understand that logic. He says he's so important, helped a lot in centre-back position because of the outstanding job with Joe Rodon. No doubt they proved this last season. They had many clean sheets. On the other hand, happy to have Pascal back as well, but struggling with a few back-to-back injuries. And I think we can see that with Strauch. He hasn't, not like Anthony who came back and was straight away at the pace. The games that we've seen Strauch of late, he has looked to have struggles. He said, I was happy to give Strauch 90 against Millwall, but then wouldn't send him straight away into the game 3 days later. Maybe he plays on Monday. So he says, match experience is important. It's good we don't have to rush him into the team and risk another long-term injury. In full rhythm and confidence, he will play a key role for us. That's basically the manager saying once Strauch's at full rhythm and confidence, he'll be back in at centre-back. He says, due to the strength of Ethan in central defensive role and our central midfielder role, we can afford not to push Pascal back into the starting lineup. But we also know we need Pascal's defensive skills, defending set pieces, for example, soon as he's back to full fitness. So that's the manager telling you there. Once Strauch's at full fitness, and I know I can trust him, he'll go back in and Ampadu will go into midfield. And then it's a conversation of who partners Ampadu in midfield. You'd imagine it's Tanaka. Tanaka and Ampadu will probably be the preferred preference. But again, that'll be very harsh on Gruev and Rothwell, but we're not a charity and it's horses for courses. There will be times where we have to switch up the midfield partnership dependent on the opponent, which we've seen in more recent weeks as well. And it's worked a treat, hasn't it? The manager's chopping and changing because he brought in Gruev for Burnley 0-0. Then he brings back in Rothwell, we win 7-0. Then he brings back in Gruev, and we're better than Coventry and probably could have won that 7-0. And Gruev keeps his place at Watford due to the pace and power and physicality of their midfield. We win that game quite comfortably as well. So he's playing a blinder with his, his selections, to be fair, as the manager. He was then asked about long-term planning. He says it's a bit complicated, of course, because the financial resources differ depending on what league you're in. He mentioned about extending contracts. If you extend a very expensive player for the Championship, or you might be able to afford like a Premier League signing. So that's things you have to weigh up, and you have to be more careful in terms of planning. And you want to be sustainable. And I feel that that's why the club risked it in January, because they may feel that Premier League is on the horizon. So do we bring someone in now who might not be quite ready, or when we can get someone better in the summer? But that's a risky, a risky thing to do. Obviously, Sheffield United have took that risk by bringing in Tom Cannon at a hefty price. There is no guarantee. Well, look, can Tom Cannon do it in the Prem? I'm not sure. I don't think so. So then if Sheffield United do go up, amazing, it's probably... But if they don't, then they're stuck with Cannon. It's difficult, isn't it? And the club opted to not take that risk. And we'll only know if it pays off if we get promoted, right? And they can say, see, we knew we had enough. And I think they will. I think they have, but I just feel it was too risky. If I was in charge, I'd have made some signings. But hey-ho, it is what it is. So he does say you need to be sustainable and you can't do crazy things and risk the mid and long term future. I think it's the same situation for every team. Quite often, you don't know before May which league you'll play in. Once you play a playoff final, you can start the planning in June. Or if you're cruising, in front. He said we had this with Burnley a couple of years ago. It's a bit easier when they're that far in front. They can really start to prepare. But normally in this crazy league, you can fulfill your concrete plans pretty late. I think we'll have it sewn up before that. But I hear what he's saying. Normally it goes right to the wire, doesn't it? But he says the quicker you are there with your decisions in key positions, the better it is for your planning. Important not to get carried away. Must be successful in every game right now. So just trying to pour water on that promotion talk. But if Leeds do get promoted, obviously, or when it's confirmed, he'll want to get the ball rolling, as it were. And so he should. I mean, because we'd need additions all over the pitch. I would argue you'd need a number 9 to compete with Pirro. Definitely, because then you have. I think Joe. I don't know. It depends how much business you do, because you still might have to keep Joseph about the gaff. So looking at number 9, definitely need a different profile of 10. Wingers might be all right if you make Solomon permanent. Midfield all right. Extra centre back. What happens with Firpo? All this sort of stuff. What I don't want us to do is just rip all the players up. I don't, honestly, because I don't think it works. I know it worked for Forest, but it only just worked. It didn't work for Fulham one season. I think sometimes it's important to have a bit of continuity, and I think we have a good enough squad. Tom Cleverley said after the Watford game, didn't he? That's a mid-table Premier League side, is what he said. Mid-table Premier League side. So I have to wait and see, won't we? He spoke about Watford actually in a little bit more detail, and how we didn't have much of the ball against Watford, but was still very good. He thinks we chose transition moments a bit too often and gave the ball away too early. And that's why Watford had a lot of the ball. And I do think at times, especially in the first half, it was very scrappy from both sides. No one could string 5 passes together. But he did mention about how, we were so strong in the previous game from counter-attacks that the players obviously would like to go for it and play on the counter, as it were. But he just said we do like to dominate possession. But it's not always the best choice to go there. And we've seen that in second halves in games where he's gone, right, let them have the ball now and we'll just try catch them on the counter. He does have tactical flexibility, does Farke, regardless of what people will tell you that he's inept. Well, they don't exist anymore. It's so funny. I'm seeing people now coming out as though they've always backed him. And it's like, you didn't want him here. Like, it's like people are, I don't know. It's like people have been hit by that Men in Black thing where they got they think people forget what they say and go, "Phew," and go on oh, I always back this man. It's bullshit. No, you never. Stop it. Why are you always lying? It's crazy. I prefer those that come and say, you know what? I didn't, but I was wrong. Rather than go, well, I always backed him. No, you didn't. Stop lying. Why are you always lying? Yeah, it's mad. He does say you can control the game without the ball, 100% off the ball. We've seen that many times. Leeds United, our off the ball defensive structure is quality. Barry, he wasn't rightly criticised at all. Any man that got 90 points last season, he got overly criticised. Any man that has three back-to-back 90-point seasons in the championships knows what he's doing. So you're now saying, oh, it took him to win 7-0. That just all that means is you just couldn't see the vision because you're a G&A merchant and you only see things good if Leeds United wins game of football by 4s and 5s. Wow, we should be winning this game 7-0. Football's not like that. This is the truth. You go watch us at Burnley and people were ready for pitchforks. It's like, come on. You can't win every game. It's calm. It's cool. And then he wins 7-0. He wins for all of a sudden now. Oh, man, yeah, I get it now. All it means to me, and I'm sorry to be rude, is just that You don't have a Scooby-Doo. You have a Scooby-Doo. Because you should have been able to see this anyway. That's the whole point of XG, right? And models like that. Because you can see that. Do you remember when I told you all we were the best team in the league? Do you remember that? And they had a big debate on the channel as well. Do you remember that? Big up to him, by the way. No disrespect on his name. But what I'm saying is I took a lot of shit. And where are we at now? Very Sharp Lee says, you are allowed to change your mind. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Would never not say that. But it's ones that pretend that they've always backed him. That's the point I'm saying, Very Sharply. Not so sharp, son. Slightly sharply. You know? You are allowed to change your mind. But it shouldn't take a 7-0 for you to change your mind. You should have seen this vision in the first place. We were always... I'm not projecting no haters onto you, Barry. Stop being so precious, man. No, I don't think he should have been promoted last season, though. But we had a 90-point season. Any normal season, that gets you promoted. It was an anomaly. It was an anomaly. He did a very good job last season. When you take things all into consideration, the turncoats in the summer, all that sort of stuff, he got 90 points, folks. 90 points. He did what he was supposed to do. 90 points gets you up. 90 points this season gets you up. Any other season, guess what? Gets you up. I don't think he's done a bad job by any stretch of the imagination. Didn't warrant any of the criticism, really, if I'm honest. People wanting to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We are there, Mark. Don't worry about it. It's done. It was done at start of season when I told y'all. He's not steered us wrong once. He wasn't a complete... Barry, he was not a complete failure, mate. 90 will be enough, Tony. How was he a complete failure? He wasn't a complete failure. Yeah, Very Sharply, we all want the same thing, yeah. You say me and others had an agenda against Farke. Hell, I don't remember yesterday, mate. We can't all have the same opinions. No, you can't. No. I think that's why football's so good, right? Because you can't have the same opinions. Just some have more right opinions than others, 90% of the time. Others are crazy, like you, Will. I'm just playing. It's just good to see. It's good to see, isn't it? I think he's had a lot of unfair criticism. Listen, listen. If I went on some of your comments after Burnley, truth be told, imagine, get him out. He's terrible. You know, he's too defensive. Da 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 da. When in actual fact, if you were objective about it, it was a good point. Yes, Smarty. Exactly, bro. This is what I'm saying, Smarty. It's all there. It is all there. But people like, oh, no, I never said them things. It's bullshit, man. Smarty knows the drill. No, John, like, listen, hear me, right? I get it now. People looking at the table, everyone goes 90 points. There is a reason why there has only ever been two times, since the championship's inception, that a team's got 90 points and not gone up. It's not normal what happened last season. That's why he didn't really fail for me. That's why objectively I looked at it and went, do you know what? Bad time to get 90 points. Unlucky. You go again. You went up against Leicester and Ipswich. That doesn't happen every year. Unlucky, you go again. We've got the right manager. Because no manager in Championship history has got 3 90-plus point seasons back to back. And he'll get a 4th. And if he gets promoted this time, he goes down historically as the most successful Championship manager that ever lived. My man's breaking records that stood since Don Revie, some since the 1920s when Leeds United were just a sperm in the fucking football pyramid's eye. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why now I sit here with a cigar saying, get it up, yeah. And I'll go, yeah, but we can change our lives. Yeah, you can. Welcome. Welcome. Come sit down on the knowledgeable chair next to the knowledgeable folks. That's what I'm saying. Come take a pew and welcome. And welcome. It's true, though, Oliver. Like a twinkle in the eye. What's this? Can you check the stats? Has there ever been a team who got 90-plus points? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. It's mad, isn't it? No, I don't. Bro, everyone at the club said it. For you, maybe. But everyone at the club said it was a 2-year plan. They said it was a 2-year plan. Not 1 year. 2-year plan. The club said that. Club said that. Not me, not you. The club were always set for a 2-year plan. Yeah. No, but it's not regular, is it? Because it weren't the season before last season or the season before that. There's only ever been 2 times in the history since the Championship's inception, not Division 1 or 2. Championship, I don't know when that was actually started. Now I can't tell you off the top of my head, but it's in the past few decades. But there's only ever been 2 teams that finished on 90-plus and not gone up, us and Sunderland. Farke's breaking that many records. He's even breaking the bad records. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Yeah, exactly, John. It was always a project to plan. It wasn't, you have to get up this season or you're done. Otherwise, they would have sacked him. Steer it up, little darling, steer it up. Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Mad. I think the thing is, you got a link to that. So what? A link to the club saying it was a 2-year plan? It's out there, bro. It was a 2-year plan. That's what they said. It came out of their mouths, mate. I'm not making things up, bro. It was a 2-year plan. I don't think the club expected. Think about it, right? Think about it. Leeds United lost every man and the dog in the summer. The manager did an exceptional job. An exceptional job. No one expected what Rutter and Somerville gave us because we all expect Nonto to be doing that. So it's easy now with hindsight. You know, Gray had just come onto the scene. The players that we lost, none of us expected to lose what we did. Before the start last season, I wasn't looking at Somerville. I wasn't looking at Rutter and Gray and going, oh my God, these are going to go for like 30+ million. I don't think ever. They definitely did, bro. Thank you. Definitely was. Definitely was a 2-year plan. They said that. But hey ho, we move. We move. Let's not talk about last season. Someone triggered me in the chat. I thought I'd go there. So why wasn't? Well, I don't know. Fucking speak to them, bro. Speak to Leicester. I don't know why it wasn't. Speak to Leicester. Speak to Top. That's the guy at Leicester. Ipswich didn't even have a plan, bro, because they were in the league below. I don't know, mate. Speak to them. Yeah, but it was a man who wasn't ready, Tyler. Come on. Come on. Anyway, all I'm saying is, yeah, it's nice to sit on the throne of being right. It's nice to sit on the throne of being right all along, you know? So, you know, and it's nice for you to come and join. That's all I'll say. It's all love, man. We're having a bit of fun, aren't we? It is what it is. I'm tired. Happy Valentine's Day, though. If we don't go up, Joe, what happens? We will. We will. I'm not even thinking about it. We're the best team in this league by country mile. You can't write history to suit. No, bro, you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me, are you? Listen, the club said it was a 2-year plan. Everyone's just told you they said that. I'm not writing anything. You're not listening. What have I said that tells you I'm writing history to suit my latest opinion? Tell me. Exactly. Even Lord Asher's changed. Welcome. Welcome. Because in the end, we come round to a situation where we go, oh, okay. You were right. All right. Oh, it would be. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be now. Yeah, yeah, it would be. Uh, well, BMG, you can't get them right all the time, can you? Can't get them right all the time. James has blown me out of the water. Blown me out of the water with his technical improvements, his goal scoring ability, his improvements. Didn't expect it. Didn't expect it. So yeah. Well, if you hear me right, if we get 90 points this season, we'll go up. This is the point. That is the whole crux of the conversation. We're coming right back to the start here, bro. I told everyone last time the reason we didn't. It's an anomaly. Last season was an anomaly. Normally get 90 points. If we get 90 points this season, we go up. So that's not even a conversation. 90 points does it. I'm telling you, 90 points does it. 90 points does it. So, yeah, James needs a new contract. Therefore, get it done. Not going up is successful, isn't it, Joe? No, not this season. No, but D, this is the point. Now you're now make you're talking about me changing history to suit you're now, but I'm telling you we will. That's listen, hear the confidence in my voice. 90 points will get Leeds United up. Because yeah, anyway. Let's move on. Let's move on, innit? Let's move on quick. Because I don't think we're going round in circles here. The whole point of the thing was 90 points normally gets you up. And that's why last season. So no. It is of course, but my point is BMG. There's only ever been 2 seasons since the championship's inception that a team's got 90 points and not gone up. This is the point. That's the point I'm making. It's never happened back to back. It's only happened twice. It's mad. Yeah, man. Make it happen, DL. Make it happen. Let's move it on. They won't. They won't. We can have the bet now. I've been telling you. Leeds United win the league, 10 plus points gap. Sheffield United come second. Burnley draw the way to third and win the playoffs. I told you this from time ago. So it might not win you the league, but it'll get you promoted. That's what I'm saying. Might not win the league, but I'm telling you, no, there'll be 2 teams getting that. Well, I'm not even convinced Sheffield United will, truth be told. Told you, 10-point gap by the end of the season. I'm confident. We're too good. Right. I'm telling you, won't get 90 points. Do you want this bet now? We can have this bet if you want. I'm willing to take it. I'm willing to take it. We can have the bet if you want. 9 wins and a draw off 90. Right, with 14 games left. That's a lot of wins, bro. So I'm just going to have a look here. Let's go on the championship table. Form. The last 10. So in the last 10 games, Sunderland have 5 wins. 5 wins in 10. 5 wins and I don't think it and 4 draws, right? Leeds United in the last 10 only have 7 wins. So you're saying they're 9 wins and they've only got 14. This is what I'm saying. So by that logic, then we're going. I don't think when you write it down to say they only need 9 wins and a draw with 14 left, so that's 10 games, 10 games, and you're expecting them to knock off 9 wins when in 10 they've only got 5. This is what I'm saying. It's not easy to win that amount of games. Burnley in the last 10, won 5, drawn 5. Coventry, won 6, drawn 2, lost 2. Sunderland, won 5, drawn 4, lost 1. Sheffield United, won 6, drawn 1, lost 3. Leeds United, won 7, drawn 3, lost 1. So you're saying in 14 games, you're expecting them to get 9 wins. And to put it as only 9 wins and a draw, this is what I'm saying. It's mad. I'm telling you now, come the end of the season, on it. Anyway, it is what it is. 100% BMG. 100%. What are they on now? I don't know what they're on now, but guess what? 15 games. 15 games, which is more like what you've mentioned. So in 15 games, Sunderland have 8 wins and 5 draws in 15 games. So, this ain't easy. And one of them's playing Leeds United. So we'll see in it. We'll see. What I tell you, the best way to look at it is obviously how many points per game, isn't it? So, but yeah, there's not going to be loads of 90s. I'm telling you. Just remember, I said. No, Ricard, this is the pot. Right. People look at that and go, you take Leeds United and put them with 90 points. That's not what it is. The thing what you look at, right? There's only 2 teams. The anomaly is the fact that 3 teams got it. Not that you're looking back at them and going, well, if you put us in there, that's another team on 90 points. Yeah, that would work. But that's not the point. The main point is that 2 teams get 90 points. So if you finish on 90, you would go up normally in any other season. It just so happens in our season and the Sunderland season way back when 3 teams got 90. That's the anomaly here. Not taking Leeds with 90 and putting them in a league table where there were already 2 teams with 90, because the point is they wouldn't have got them 90 because Leeds United would have been in that division. That's the thing. We're not just taking Leeds and going, right, okay, because you'd have to remove someone from that division. And if you remove them from that division, the points at the top would change. You might be removing the bottom team, who actually, them team got 6 points off. So then you deduct their 90 by 6. And what would they have got against Leeds United? That's the point. You don't just go 90, add them in, because that would mean there's 25 teams in the league and the points would be off anyway. So in a normal season, normally only 2 teams will get 90. The anomaly was 3. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, let's move on. Forget about the possession at Watford. Farke spoke on Sunderland. Raji is pretty experienced manager, proved this during his career. We know the potential of Sunderland, fully aware before the season started. I think we were all fully aware. Really good individual players. They've definitely added to that as well with Enzo Lafille, let's be honest. There you go. It's true though what I'm saying, isn't it? They play with enthusiasm and fire, and players with confidence and rhythm, developing week on week. Enzo Lafille looks every bit the decent player that was bought. One of the best sides in this league. We have to be good to control their offensive players. Not easy to open them up and score goals against them. Should have won the last game. It was close. We dominated periods. Need same level of performance again to reward ourselves with a result. Like all the games against the top team, tight game. Need to be good with the details. And this will be decisive. There you go. Burnley are on 64, 2 per game, gives them 88. Sunderland will get 86. Burnley could do it. Sunderland unlikely. Okay, so what would that mean? That ourselves and Sheffield United will probably be 90. There you go. Anyway. Boom said it. 2 points per game gets promotion. I think we're on course for that, aren't we? We're already that. Yeah. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it, mate? It is mad. There's all sorts of madness going down with all these different graphs and stuff that are doing the rounds now that show Leeds United are just the best team since sliced bread. Where's that other one? There's another graph. If you want to know, right, again, this is why I'm confident when you're seeing all these. I say, if you want to know how dominant Leeds United are this season, they're probably the best side in the Championship. Sorry, probably the best side that the Championship has ever seen. They are running close to the Reading side in terms of points. You know? So it's mad. If you look at our XG goal differential per 90, it's 1.3, which is the highest there's ever been in the Champo. And we're on 69 points. We've only played 32 games on that, obviously. Points per match played, 2.16. Return. Where how much? Like, think about that Bielsa season, which had been 1920. What did we finish on there? Let's have a look. We finished on 93. How many more points are we at that stage? It'd be interesting to see, you know, like if we could go back and go, where is it now? Where you can look at league tables after certain game weeks. There is a way to do it as well. That's frustrating. There's a site you can use where you can go and say where were you on this game week? Where were you on this game week? I think it might be Transfermarkt. Let me have a look. It'd be interesting to see what the points were at this stage last season for certain teams and stuff. 1 second, and I'll have a play about and see if I can find it. It will, man, Damien. I'm telling you, it will. It will be. Let's have a look if I can look back on previous seasons on the Champo table. What's that got to do with the price of fish? What's that? Where's that come from? I don't understand. What does that mean, though, Matt? What's your point? This season they are. Although I said Watford will be tough. I said we'd get a 0-0 draw against Burnley. But the facts are they are rubbish. Coventry were on a winning run, lost to us because they're rubbish compared to us. It's like men versus boys. There's a reason why Tom Cleverley said they're basically a mid-table Premier League side. Our opponents normally are rubbish. Sunderland won't be. Decent side. But if we were playing Plymouth, I'd be saying rubbish. If we were playing Stoke, I'd be saying rubbish. There's no wrong with saying that. What's your point? And I don't know what question that is in response to be honest. I don't know what's been said to make you say that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But we move, don't we? We move. Anyway, I think we've gone round the houses. All we know is Leeds United are the best team since sliced bread. Yeah. Tomorrow as well, folks, you've got 2 games to look forward to. We get to see the joys that are Burnley at lunchtime. Preston versus Burnley. Come on, Preston. 0-0 written all over it, that game, by the way. 0-0 written all over it. Both teams that don't create much and don't concede much. So that's got 0-0 written all over it. Happy days. And then we get to watch Luton versus Sheffield United, which I think Sheffield United will win that game. But yeah, it's going to be good. Good weekend. And then you'll have a preview out Sunday, and then I'll be back Monday night. But listen, thanks as always for watching. Happy Valentine's to you all. I'm going to go have a nap now after my walk up Malham Cove. I'm tired. Big up, though. Big up. Leeds United. Keep doing the do. Keep winning the league and all that jazz. And I will see you in a bit. Peace out, folks. Love. Bye-bye.